I'm not a Sonic fan. I guess I'm as much of a Sonic fan as anybody who grew up playing video games and played the originals when they came out. I don't play them now, all these 3D ones. I parted ways with Sonic a long time ago. And I remember being shocked along with everybody else when that first trailer for that first movie came out. Do you remember that? The first trailer, the first one before they fixed the model, and the model looks like it was bad. The model was bad. It was so bad, and they got so much backlash that the studio spent all that money to have it fixed, to make it more like the video game model. And really, they should have just used that model to start with. I mean, Sega's been cranking out these games for 20 years, or for longer than 20 years, but the 3D ones for at least 20 years. They had the models all figured out. They should have just used one of those. Sega'd be happy to license that model to them or whatever. Instead, they make this thing that they're kind of trying to make it look real, but it looks too hairy, and it's sort of cartoony, but not cartoony enough. I just think it looks weird. I said that on Twitter. Somebody called me out on Twitter because I linked the trailer and I said the model looks bad. The new show has Tails in it. And so Tails looks kind of like Sonic, like it's kind of cartoony, but it's kind of real. But mostly the effect to me is just weird. It's weird. It doesn't look right. It's almost got that uncanny valley feeling. You know, when you see Boston Dynamics or somebody making a robot, and they put skin on it, it's making facial expressions and sounds and talking to you, and you look at it and your brain's like, something is really wrong with this. This is not right. This is all wrong. Danger, danger. That's kind of what the Sonic and Tails models are like in this movie. It's just not right. There's something wrong with it, to me. So anyway, I said this on Twitter, and somebody's like, there are a lot of people who worked really hard on those models, and they look fine. And you should feel bad because the studio went bankrupt. Hey, point taken. I appreciate anybody's hard work. Animation, I don't do it. I don't do 3D. I don't do computer animation. But I, play video games from time to time. I watch these Marvel movies, and I see all the names in the list, in the credits. I know a lot of people work on these things. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort, a lot of expertise. I know they work hard, and they did a much better job than the original animators did, but I'm sorry, it's just not good. It ain't good. It could be better. But point taken, they worked hard, fine. That's fine. But he told me the studio went bankrupt, and they didn't go bankrupt. They closed down a location. I read an article. I had to check up on it after I heard him say that. And the article said they shut down, and it gave a couple vague reasons that don't really mean anything. So it's a worldwide company. They got whatever. Anyway, so I watched this Sonic 2 trailer, and it is nice to see Jim Carrey doing it again. Jim Carrey is so interesting. That one man can act so crazy in so many movies for so long, and everyone loves him. Are Jim Carrey movies good? Think back. The Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask. He was the Riddler in that Batman movie. Are these good movies? Is he good? Is he good in these movies? He is a complete loony tune. He's a cartoon of a actor. Which is fine. It must be great because people like him. What do I know? People love Jim Carrey. And you know what? If I went and watched Ace Ventura right now, I'd probably laugh a lot. If I watched The Mask, I'd probably laugh a lot. I don't know if I would laugh at me, myself, and Irene. Maybe I'd chuckle during The Truman Show. Maybe I would laugh during Liar Liar. But then, didn't he just fall off the face of the earth for the last however many years, and then he pops up and he's Dr. Robotnik? But he seems perfect for that role. I just assumed that the first Sonic movie made no money. I don't know why I would assume that. I just got the vibe like, oh, this is not good and nobody's going to watch it and it's not going to make any money. But I was really wrong. I mean, that was my first question when I saw the second trailer. It's like, they're making another one? Another one of these? When the first one was a flop? So I looked it up and I was completely wrong. The first one made plenty of money. They spent something like $89 million making it, and it made like $319 million. So that's great. So yeah, no brainer. Why wouldn't you make another movie? It did remind me a little bit of the old games, some of the scenes from that trailer. Do you guys play the old games? Do you remember those games? I don't know how old you guys are. I assume everyone who's listening to the show is the same age than I am. And I'm old enough to remember those games when they came out, the originals on the Sega Genesis. They're really good. Sonic has all the elements of a perfect game. I don't think those games are perfect, but they have all the elements of perfect games. I'm talking about those first 3 games on the Sega Genesis. They're interesting to look at. The music is really good. The character is really good. Everybody likes Sonic. The storyline, who cares? It's unimportant. It has a unique graphic style. You could replay the game because you could play through and beat it the regular way, but then you had to play through it again and get all the Chaos Emeralds to get the real ending, because you didn't get the true ending unless you got all the Chaos Emeralds and became Supersonic and beat the last boss, which was really hard to do. So you could play the heck out of that game. And they were all fun. Just talking about it, I can hear some of the music from the game going through my head. It's really good music. It's just the style. It has a good style. And when that thing became 3D, all that style just went right down the crapper. I mean, it's got a style, but I don't like it. I don't know if people... Well, look, they've made, 100 3D versions of Sonic, so obviously somebody likes it. It just ain't me. I like the old school ones, the style. Sonic was pretty much ruined when he started talking. He was supposed to be a cool... I'm taking this way too seriously.